Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
No, all good. I have this afternoon free, so this time is still cool with me. Um, but yeah, let's be productive. Let's make the most of it. Do you have everyone here that you need?
Yeah, we have one more person that's probably going to join a little bit into the meeting, so that's fine.
Okay. Um, yeah, I got your update email, read through everything. Sounds like things are kind of moving slowly, but in the right direction. Um, Talk to me about, it sounds like the biggest blocker is still a bank account. Is that like what we want to talk about?
Mainly, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely what's blocking us right now because we went to a bunch of banks in our local area near Navin's house and my house, and all of them say like you have to be above 18, like each and every member has to be 18. Like I
Mm.
changed the whole like operating agreement so that Navin's dad was the manager and he was like one of the members, but then they still don't accept it. So that's what's kind of tough for us right now.
Specifically, when you changed that, did they give you a reason on that?
Yeah, they said it has to be every member on the team on
Yeah,
the
like the reason for that is like legal issues. So like if we get sued, they can't go after us because we're all
True.
under 18. I asked the guy, like the guy whose name was Sean at Chase Bank, I asked him and he said, like, what if our parent is the holder? He said that still, even though this is for all members of it, unless the parent has 100% equity that's over 18, someone above 18 has to have 100% in it, of the LLC, only then they can open the account.
Have you tried Wells Fargo?
Not yet, but what so far we've been Googling like all banks, even on we tried a couple online banks as well. They just kept saying 18 and above.
Okay. Um, yeah, so just my first account and our account for MC Pro Hosting at the beginning was Wells Fargo. It was a business account. My co-founder's name, James, was on it, and then my dad was on the account. That's
Was
what I
it
remember.
an LLC? Like, did you
Yeah,
guys have?
yeah, it was an
Okay.
LLC. My parents were not even members, or none of our parents were members on the LLC, which that might be like a loophole that we got into because that doesn't sound like it should work.
Do you know where the LLC was based? Ours is in Delaware right now.
Yeah, our LLC was a Florida LLC to start with. Um, Nothing wrong with Delaware. I don't know why they would. It shouldn't be anything about the corporate, like it's their policy, like what they allow, I would
Yeah.
think, unless they're telling you something about Delaware in particular.
Okay,
Um,
maybe you could try Wells Fargo Bank and see if that's okay.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like I said, that it might have been a fluke. It might have been they just missed something, didn't check, or like we're okay making an exception because, like I said, like none of our parents were on the LLC. They were only on the bank account. So I'm surprised that they let that happen. Um, on the flip side, I'm surprised, but I understand it, that they're not allowing you to go through with a parent applying. And is one of your parents currently on your LLC membership?
Yeah,
Yeah,
my dad is as the like the manager.
Okay, man.
because for the way LLC works, you don't have to like change it with the state, right? For to change like members or whatever, you just need an operating agreement change or whatever, right? Yeah.
It should be pretty straightforward. Um, okay, so that's tricky. Have you had like have you just had your dad go in and apply himself completely, like not adding any other members or anything like that? And
For
then
the
maybe
LLC.
for the LLC, like going in and trying to set up a business account and like they shouldn't need every member of the LLC to be
We need
present
we
or
They do.
Yeah, we had two issues. Yeah, so one of them was every member had to be present, but we got a way to get past that. There's like some agreement form that they just go to their local Chase Bank and sign that. So we thought that would be the problem, but the real problem was the age limit. So yeah,
okay, man, that's hard. I definitely think that the requirements have gotten more strict since we applied. You know, it was 12 years ago that we got our account, which is crazy to say. Um, how is this not a thing? Okay, like if you really want to start getting creative with it, you can create potentially a dedicated corporate entity like an LLC or even, some corporation like a C corp or something like that, that is completely owned by
The
your
parents.
dad,
Yeah.
and then have it own your current LLC. And so your current LLC would be a subsidiary of the parent company,
Mm.
which processes the finances. Or if you want to do it differently without making the ownership structure complicated, you could have just two completely separate entities, and one is PayBridge Payments Incorporated, and the other is PayBridge LLC, or whatever you want to do. And your dad owns PayBridge Payments, which is your payment facilitator, your bank, and you just work with that company to get it. There's nothing legally wrong with that. It's just you have to make sure you have some structure in place, because you want to, obviously, I'm sure you trust your dad, but just make sure that cross your I's and dot your T's on the agreement between those two companies.
We can't restructure the equity so that his dad has 100%.
Yeah,
And then
like one of
the
our
account-
dads of the LLC, they have just 100%. The guy said we could do that.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, like, if you do that, then your operating company and your payment processor or your bank company can be separate if you still want to have your own ownership structure, like, aside from that.
Oh, so like you're saying, like the kids own the. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's nothing stopping you from owning your
then-
own LLC and using another LLC to process your payments.
Then what
Mm.
about like the taxes? Because already
Yeah,
we've
we've already
had-
paid like 300, almost $500 just for incorporating the
Yeah,
LLC and then
LLC.
paying last year's taxes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, that aspect of it sucks. Well, it should be, yeah, you are gonna be up with the tax for having two separate entities. And then the other thing is, if you bring up a good point, because if you do have two completely separate entities and one doesn't own the other one, then you're paying income tax on whatever you're sending across the border between those two companies. So yeah, that's not a nice tax situation.
Yeah.
Remind me again, you're using the bank accounts. The primary reason you need a bank is so that you have like a buffer to send between the accounts, or
that to also like so we can access the PayPal APIs and all that.
oh,
They like for you need a PayPal business account, and for that you need a bank account linked to it.
Mhm.
So we could, I think, maybe like use one of our own personal bank accounts, I think. But I'm not
Yeah.
sure how that would like go on and further.
Yeah. Because currently that's what we're doing with my personal bank account. And
How
then
long till one of you is 18?
it's almost 4 or 5 months till I'm 18.
Okay.
I think I'm the oldest one.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the end of the world. You're making progress. You're still gonna run into that issue with them requiring all of the members,
Yeah.
which is like that's BS. Like, just like that should
Yeah.
not be the way that it is. I hate that, but I understand it. I get that they're covering liability and whatnot. You know, I would keep pushing on like looking into member structures that would allow you to do this. Reach out to Wells Fargo for sure. Do the same thing, explain the situation. Ask about, if you had a single entity that was just owned, like you said, like see if there's like ways that you could do it without spending too much in taxes. But in the meantime, like if you just need an account as a buffer and an account to sign a PayPal up, see if they'll take your personal account. I don't see anything
Yeah,
wrong with
We'll
that.
try that.
Okay. I think we got the follow-ups on that. So Wells Fargo, and if not Wells Fargo, personal account will be the way to run for now.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, talk to me about this call with the 5M server. What's going on there?
Yeah, so essentially the owners, so Tyler, another teammate of ours, he's part of like for fun, like a 5M server called Sunrise. And so they have a couple hundred members on their Discord and they're actively playing. So we talked to their owners and set up a call with them. Their owners they own a marketing agency. We don't know if it's real or not, obviously, internet and all that, but when we got on a call with them, we told them who we are and why we like to use their Discord server. And when we kind of like approached them for the Discord server, they brought up their idea of their marketing service and asked us to
Mhm.
like use them and started selling a lot on them. So yeah.
A lot of misunderstanding.
Yeah, we tried saying several times, and they kept going like, "Why start with just Discord server partnerships when you can use us?" And then yeah,
Okay. So you went into the call expecting something and they went into the call with a totally different
yeah.
expectation. What do you want to make of that? Like, is there anything like
I mean, if it's true, like they talked, like they sold it like really well, like the whole call, like they just kept selling it like so well. But I don't know if it's
sorry,
legit.
what were they trying to say? I understand marketing. Like what specifically were they trying to get you to sign up for?
Getting customers and like they had like a what's it called, like a HR, like all those like you get those like reports filed from customers. Let's say they have that kind of managing service, and then they have marketing like clicks and ads and all that. And then we randomly just asked them for like how much, and they said like there's two options. If we're since we're small, 25% of equity, and then like 150K.
No.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if it's real or not.
Even if it's real, it's a terrible deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not giving up any more than a couple percent of equity is a major decision. And you want that to be for a great hire, a co-founder, really great money. If they're going to ask for 25% equity, they should be paying you quite a bit of money. Like,
Yeah.
even if you have nothing, like, yeah, that bad deal. I would stay away from that. The only thing, if you think that what they're talking about is tangible, you could do two things. First, go back and say, hey, your deal sucks. We're not going to give you 25% equity, but we will give you 50%, 75% of whatever revenue you bring in, like directly. You can ask for like a rev share agreement. And then second, you can say, hey, prove that you can actually get us leads. And for every lead, we'll give you however many dollars if you want to just test that they're able to get people in the door through the funnel. Because
Yeah.
the big thing with those kinds of agencies, especially if you're just, I mean, if you're giving equity up front, they do have a little bit of a horse in the race, if you will. But in general, you're going to get a lot of like empty clicks. You know, a lot of people that get dumped on your website don't go through the process. So yeah, my follow up on that, if you want to do it, ask to negotiate substantially. Look at a rev share agreement for the traffic that they bring, or pay them for like an acquired customer, not just for.
Yeah, they did talk about those kind of things, not exactly like revenue sharing, but like some type of agreement.
Okay, it only pay them if they bring you a customer. Don't
Yeah.
pay them if they bring you a click. If
Yeah.
if they have an agreement where you can bring them a customer and that money or that math works out for you, sure, like no issue with that. If that's the pure agreement, that's fine. So go back and just ask for follow up on that.
And then this kind of like led to us thinking about getting a patent for our idea. So like, do you have any
That's a
experience?
distraction.
Distraction.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have experience with patents. It's not going to help you because you are not able to litigate on your patent, and they also take several years. The U.S. Patent Office is significantly delayed, and you're going to be spending a lot of time. I filed a couple. You're going to be spending a lot of time documenting everything. Your patent doc is going to be 20 plus pages minimum, just to really explain the invention that you're creating. And again, the only protection that it provides is if you're willing to go out and litigate, if you're willing to go out and sue someone, which is a complete distraction for you. If you have competition in this space, like that's a good thing. Like just make your product better. If you spent half the time you spent litigating and filing a patent on the product, you'll get way past them, no problem. I wouldn't, unless you just have a ton of free time and a ton of money to go actually put into filing it, making sure that's right.
Yeah.
And you can do that later down the road.
Yeah.
I guess that leads on to like, I said in the email about like marketing strategy, because we found it quite hard to do like word of mouth, because like Venkat, another team member, he was calling like places he chooses at, and they were saying, oh, we need validity, like can you send us like one of your customers so we can talk to them or something, right? So then we were thinking, okay, why not we just kind of pay for like Google paid search or
Yeah.
kind of target, you know, like teenagers or something like that, because they won't really care about trust as much. That's what we were assuming.
Yeah, and honestly, I think your business, out of a lot of the ones in beta camp, a lot of people tried to do paid campaigns. Your advantage is your keywords that you would be filtering on are so precise, right? Like send money from Cash App to PayPal, and you get your ad at the top of that. You will prove very quickly if people want your solution, right?
Yeah, we went on Google Trends and like per hour it's like 100 people at
Yeah.
least searching up. So
Yeah, I think paid ads is uniquely suited to what you're doing. You should do it. But what we talked about 2 or 4 weeks ago, I forget, making sure that if you get someone that lands on your page,
the
you
whole flow.
understand that funnel. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be the key to making sure you're not wasting. You can go through so much money so fast on paid ads. And every percent increase you make at each step of that funnel is going to save you a ton of money and get you more customers, right? If you find that the text on the homepage is not explaining what you do and people are just clicking and leaving, you're wasting that money. So until you have the ability to instrument that and really understand each step of the funnel, pause on ads and push to get that stuff in. You need to understand the traffic before you start pulling it in. So do ads, but do the instrumentation first.
Yeah, we are in the process of adding analytics right now. We're just coming across a few issues of adding it to Next.js, but we'll get that sorted out like in the next day or so. So that'll be active soon.
Okay.
And then we're gonna revamp the front page using your tips. So that
Yeah.
should be okay.
Okay, great.
We
Cool.
also oh yeah, sorry, what?
No, I was just gonna say next topic, but if you got something, go for it.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say we kind of work like say if they submit a form, right? We were thinking about like how would the whole flow for us kind of work. So we reworked that
Cool, good.
and yeah.
Yeah, I mean your flow is looking good. Like I said, just minor polish. You can do a little bit more on animations, like just really make it like your craft, you know. Like, I can already tell that you're putting a lot into it. And the more that you kind of put in that like love for it, it's gonna show up in the numbers as far as people getting through it. The confetti was a really nice touch. Like little things like that, I think goes a long way just from speaking from a product standpoint. But even more important than that is like making sure people understand what you do. And the homepage right now doesn't quite get there. It's close,
Yeah,
but
Yeah,
that's
we have
I already gave you that feedback.
yeah, and then
understood.
we were wondering like how do you feel about like Snapchat ads? I know they are pretty cheap,
Yeah,
like Snapchat, TikTok, those kind of ads.
Snapchat and TikTok are gonna help with building your brand, right? So you're gonna build brand recognition, but I think very few
Getting
people
customers, yeah.
are going to convert directly from Snapchat, because think about where you're most likely to convert a customer. Is it while they're scrolling through social media, or is it when they Google how to send money from Cash App to PayPal or
Yeah.
whatever? If you can get in that flow, that's how you're going to get your customers. So
Okay.
Snapchat, all that totally cool, but that's for building your brand when you want people, because like, for example, Cash App itself, right, is a really great brand. Like they do all these partnerships, you see all these ads, like everyone knows the name Cash App. That comes from the Snapchat ads. That comes
Yeah.
from the influencer ads. But getting your customers is going to, for you, come from Google, most likely.
Yeah.
And is there any way like we can build an SEO on that stuff, like instead of paid ad?
Yeah, you should be doing SEO as well. Next
Yeah.
provides pretty good
Yeah, really good
tools
support,
for. Yeah. Make sure you have your meta data like in the head correct.
Yeah.
Have some keywords there. The other like SEO thing is, and honestly, you can probably try to do this both because it's good for SEO and because it's good for your business, but getting people to write about you and link to you, right? The more links to your site from others, Google highly favors sites that are well linked to. So you could have someone write a blog post if they try your service, try and get someone to put something like that up. And the other thing, I keep pushing for this. It's a little bit early, but again, if you can get implemented in like MC Pro Hosting's payment flow, or have them
Yeah.
like put a link to, we accept payments through this, through PayBridge, right? That linking to your site can help a ton.
Yeah,
With
I think the problem
SEO.
with that is we need to first get our like automation and all that fully sorted out, so we're like at that source to like accept all that.
Yeah, it's early, but I'm
Yeah.
just mentioning it because that will help with SEO as well.
Yeah.
No, Naveen, didn't you ask the 5M guy about that?
Yeah, they don't have a website, but I did ask them if they could like obviously like because they do have donations and all of that, and they've also the owners themselves have felt this like issue, so that's how they kind of got to know us because we were talking about it. So yeah, so I think definitely we'll ask them to like we'll reconnect with them and ask them to forget about that whole marketing thing, but just ask them to like announce us and accept
Yeah.
us as one of those.
I mean, one thing on that, don't close any doors that you don't need to close. If you keep that conversation open, it's leverage for your for getting them to shout you out. Like say, hey, we want to keep thinking through this, but we're not ready yet. We're still kind of going to launch and like see what our data looks like, and then we might come back to you. Don't close. My point is, don't close any doors that don't need to be closed on that front. The way that you talk to them, because they'll be more likely to talk about you if they think that there's a chance in the future.
Yeah.
Okay. What was it? One other thing I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, talk to me about this Garrett guy. What's going on there?
Yeah, so he's been emailing us a few months ago, and he reached out on LinkedIn to me. I connected with him. So yeah. What?
Someone's joining. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just
Yeah,
saying,
go.
yeah, Garrett. So we're setting up a meeting with him this Sunday to see. He sent a couple emails saying like he really likes our idea. Like there's a lot of people that have done that to us, but they come from like brand boosting companies and all that.
Yeah,
But we looked
they're
at
kind of
his
like a marketing
company.
agency type.
Yeah, we looked at his
Yeah.
company. It was actually a relatively new one, so I'm not sure. I don't think he's going that path. So I think we can genuinely establish a relationship.
Yeah, I would approach that like willing to learn, but again, just be aware of like their intentions are not to use your platform. It's like they found you through some web scraper and they're like, hey, we want to get a customer. So whenever I saw he's a potential customer, followed by he wants to help us learn more about the customers that we're trying to reach, I'm like, he's trying to sell you something.
The thing is, he's also a founder as well, and he said he tried doing some finance related stuff back in the day or something.
No. I mean, maybe that's true, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I keep the conversation open. Again, don't close any doors that you don't need to, but don't spend too much time on that. Hear what he has to say. Would be my advice.
Someone.
Boss man.
Hey, some.
Hey guys, sorry. I think my internet is going to be really bad right now.
All good. Yeah, I think
Just on the
we're
train, so I think there's like a big lag.
yeah. All good.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
We can
We're
hear you.
pretty close to wrapping up, I think, but the bank account thing is still the outstanding issue. Just getting
Yeah.
it's different than when I did it
Yeah,
12 years ago. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'm tapping into my network as well, and like talking with other young founders who've had to navigate this on like a large like suggestions they might have. I'm also gonna reach out to Ivy as well. See if she has a reco.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why. The main issue they're running into is they're requiring all members on the LLC to be over the age of 18. That's the part that sucks. Like it shouldn't need to be that way. So hopefully there's someone that will look at it and be like, okay, you've got someone that's liable for this. We'll let you sign up. They'll be the primary account holder. You guys have access. That's how it should be. But yeah, we talked about potentially doing something else with the corporate structure, having an entity owned just by their dad, and then that will hold the bank account. But then you get into tax issues with them needing to register two LLCs. So whatever you find, I'm running into issues too, thinking through how to do that, but that's a big one.
So what do you want from us by the next meeting?
I think the biggest thing is going to be try and ship the changes to the site, because you're at the point where you can test your flow. You can run some Google ad campaign like we talked about that's going to show up on Cash App to PayPal searches. And even if your goal is not to process all these transactions, at least you can validate, do people want the idea? Are they willing to go through our form to get there? And potentially, can we actually turn them into a paying customer? Like, if you can start running that flywheel and learning that now, it's going to help you. Like, you don't need a bank account to do that. So really, really push to get that going.
Yeah.
That's my, that's the only like major follow-up I have for you. I like the plan. Otherwise, site's looking great.
I have a
Yeah.
I have a quick question. If I wanted to make like a Cash App Venmo transaction right now, am I able to do that through PayBridge?
Yeah. You
Yeah,
can.
right now we are able to, yes.
Okay.
Yes, but the UI would look a bit weird.
That's okay. I feel like what you guys really need to do is just like kind of have like a go-to market strategy. Even if it's just a friend, a buddy, someone you know, like performing a transaction, that like raw feedback from like an actual end user is probably going to be like the most helpful thing you guys have going for you. And if it's ready to use, like why not start throwing out strategies or like posting content on, hey, have you ever run into this issue? Like there's a solution out there right now. I think what I've seen go well for a lot of like companies is like what Matt said, like the Google AdWord play. SEO is also huge. Just writing like a blog on to, you know, conduct this exact transaction.
Yeah, like Medium
and
or
then
something. Yeah.
people just searching. Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about the backlinks too. Like, even if you're running it, like that's still another link that's going to you for SEO. So
No, we're waiting for Prequel to write the whole thing.
hey, that would be a pretty high quality
Absolutely.
backlink.
We could do you let me know what you guys need on that end, and we can like start at least like distributing it out to the 10,000 newsletter readers to just like test out your product, right? Like here's a beta camp company that's going out and iterating on like their summer project. Like that'd be a huge win-win for us. Like there's no opposition there. So just let me know what you guys need, and I can connect you to the right people to brand it the way you guys want it branded.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a good idea. Anything else that I can do to be helpful with the remaining time that we have?
No, thank you so much.
Are we over?
Yeah, I think so. That's totally fine.
What else? Let me read the email, sorry.
Yeah. We chatted through every point in the email, and I'm feeling good about where you guys are
I guess another thing, communication.
Yeah.
That was it's improved. But it's also because it's holiday.
Yeah.
So, and we're not, I don't know, we're not meeting as much as we could, but we still have another week. So I'll let you know that.
Like we talked about a couple weeks ago, I think that motivation is like something that's very specific to each person on your team. But the one thing that really drives teams is numbers going up and to the right. And unless you actually ship something and start getting customers, it's hard to kind of motivate people. But as soon as you have, like Salman said, those first like bits of customer feedback coming in, you send that to a team member, and now all of a sudden they're accountable to a customer, not just to like a group of people that are already invested for the sake of being invested in the company. So I think the faster that you can get your customer number one, it's going to clear up so many of those like motivation issues on your team. And if it doesn't, then there's probably something deeper that you need to talk about with those team members.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, like, we have a Discord, right, for kind of people who are interested in PayBridge. Like, there's just one person that keeps trolling. He's like, one day he says, "Oh, I want to make a transaction," and we get so happy, and then he just starts pissing me off because he's like trolling.
Yeah,
So like,
if,
yeah,
like someone said, if he's literally trolling you, don't deal with that. For two reasons. First of all, it's annoying, and second of all, if that's like in your Discord and other people are seeing that, it's devaluing your brand. Right? If people aren't taking, like, you're a payments platform, like you can joke around if you're like making a social app for people, but if people aren't viewing your payments app as something that's credible because your Discord is filled with people that are like full on trolling, quick kick will solve that.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, good luck. And again, keep me updated. As soon as you push updates to the site, send them my way. I will review anything whenever you have them. So don't wait again 2 weeks to do that.
yeah,
I really think you can make progress and have something where you're able to instrument for AdWords or for blog posts, like just be able to track, like if someone comes to our site, where are they getting stuck? What % of people are getting through to step 3, say, for example, and try and optimize on that to get your first customer. Cool. All right.
maybe.
Good luck.
Thank you.
See you in 2 weeks.
Sorry
Yeah.
for joining a little bit late, but best of luck, guys.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.